Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today to share with you my latest pen purchase. And then also, besides showing you the pen, I'm going to kind of go through my pen collection and talk about where I get my pens because I get lots of questions about where I get them, what tips I use, what I use in my tips, all that stuff. So I'm going to kind of cover all that today. But first, I went out on Etsy, and thank you to whoever gave me the tip about I could search for only ships from Canada. I had never noticed that before, don't know why, but I was able to find this store called Rollo Works, and they are out of Edmonton, Alberta. So if you like this pen, you can go check them out. I'll stick a link in the description below to the shop. But the pen that I got was this one. Look how pretty this is. I don't have a black and white pen, and I saw this one and I was like, oh, I really like this one. So it's got the 5 little bumps in it. It did come with this plastic tip, which I will replace because I don't like these plastic tips. And then I will add in my probably a multi-placer or a straightener here, and then I'll add in a single tip here. So before I get into all of that, everyone asks me where I get my tips. My single placer tips, almost all of them, are from Cat Eared on Amazon, which you can find. Just go to Amazon and search for Cat Eared steel tips or Cat Eared metal tips. I have a whole bunch of them, and I like them because they come with this little tube bands. You have to put the bands on, but they come with the little bands, and that helps them stay inside the pen. So if I go to insert this one, ooh, that one's a little loose, so I may need to washi tape it, but maybe this end is a little tighter. It's a little tighter, but not quite as tight as I like. So I just have a box here of old tips. You can see all of my, here, let me get all of these out of the way, the ones that aren't cat-eared. So you can see the little stretchy rubber bands that come with it, and you put them around the tips. This one you can see was one that it's still got some washi tape wrapped around it because it didn't quite fit, as you can see. So that's a little trick. Oh, that one fits a little bit better in there though. So that is a little trick that you can do, is just get some washi tape, or I've seen people use masking tape, or you can use plumber's tape. I use that. I didn't find it as helpful as I was hoping. Or I've even had people tell me that they use hot glue and just fill up the little reservoir with hot glue and then stick this in there, and it will hold the pen for as long as you need it to. But if you ever decide that you want to change the tips, you can by just breaking that seal with the glue. So I've just rolled some washi tape on there, and now I'm just going to kind of shove it in there. So you can see the washi tape is sticking out a little bit. So I just kind of try to smush it down underneath there, and then I just get the tip in there as tight as I can. And now it shouldn't go anywhere when I use it. So those are all my single tips. I also have straightener tips that I use, and I like these because they're very, very thin, so they fit nicely in between drills. Even the square ones that can sometimes be difficult. I have a couple of pins that I just keep straighteners on. Those tend to be the ones I use the most often for straighteners. I have a couple of straighteners, so if I wanted to put these on this pin, I could. Again, they're a little bit loose. I don't happen to want a straightener on this pen. I want a multi-placer. And I do have several multi-placers to choose from. So these are the original kind of multi-placers that I bought. And you can see on a lot of my older pens, these were the kind that were my favorites until Diamond Art Club started making their new tips. So I have 2 different sizes of tips from Diamond Art Club that I haven't used yet. One is the 6-placer and one is the 12-placer. Now, I have duplicates of all of these. You've seen the pen that I use a lot. This is my one that I prefer for squares. This is a 6-placer. This is a pen I get questions on a lot. This one and this one both. These are just resin pens that I got at a budget company. I couldn't even tell you which one. I think Fan sells for one, but the other one might have even been Amazon. I don't know for sure. So if you're interested in pins like these, you can see the profile is different. There's just 3 bumps on these versus the 5 on here. Whatever makes you happiest. And I don't know if you can tell, but I've used this one long enough that it's getting uneven. Like I think the metal is moving, so it's not quite as straight, but it still works. The other kind of multi-placer I have, besides Diamond Art Club, and these are just the ones that I bought on Amazon, are my everlasting tips. And these are my two everlasting tips. This is a 10, and I believe this one is a 15. I haven't used the 15 yet, simply because I don't do a lot of kits that require huge color blocking, which is what big tips like this are for. It does also take some time to get used to these, so for now this one has just stayed in here, and I've been using my 10 placer. This is the one that I prefer to use on round drills. I just feel like I have a better control for round drills. So I do need to figure out what I want to put in my new pen. I think I'm going to put this other 6 placer on it. I'll explain why. I'll show you the rest of my pens. So I keep my pens in this case. This is a marker case that I bought on Amazon, and I've showed it to you guys a long time ago. So I've got, this has a 2 or 3 placer Diamond Art Club. That size is too small for me, so I rarely use this pen. This one has one of my old tips on it. This one has one of my straighteners on it. I don't use these as much anymore, so that's why they're on the back. These 3 pens, well, 2 of them, and now probably this one, are all kind of custom resin pens. These 2 are from the French store on Etsy that I bought them from eons ago. I haven't really used them. This one I pull out for Halloween, but they're actually quite a bit heavier than what I prefer. I have used this one. This one I bought from an Etsy shop, and I don't remember which one. I've had people ask me because it's Ohio State colors, and I'm sorry, I don't remember. But you can see this one has the 10 placer Diamond Art Club tip on it. And then you can see I've got both of these, I believe, were Amazon purchases. This one I think I got on Etsy, but I don't remember where. And this one is too chunky even for me, so I don't use it much, but it's got a straightener tip. This is one of my older tips, and this is a 12 placer by Diamond Art Club. But again, I don't really use those because I don't do a lot of multi-placing blocking, color blocking that requires something like that. I probably could get it out and do some practicing, but I just haven't. And then my pens that you see all the time. So this I don't really use as a pen, it's used as a straightener, but it does have a tip in case I want to. And then again, this is my 10 placer from Everlasting Tips that I use for rounds. And then I have my Diamond Art Club tip that I use for squares, and another pen that I use as a straightener. So they all have the single tips on them. These 2 pens are mostly used as straighteners. So the other thing that I get asked a lot is, besides where I get my pens and my tips, is what do I use in them? In my single placing tips, in all of them, I use Glue Dots. Glue Dots, the brand. You can get them in micro or mini. Right now I'm using the micro. And for my tips, I usually use between 4 and 5 of the micro, so that's probably 3, maybe 4 of the mini, because some of the tips have quite deep wells. So to get it all the way in there, that the glue doesn't get shoved all the way down to the bottom of the tip, that's what I use. And then for putty, which goes in all my multi-placers, what I use is just this Museum Quake Hold putty. And you can get this on Amazon. It's pretty inexpensive. And it just comes as this big sheet of putty, almost like blue tack, and you just rip it off. And or you can push your pin down into it. I usually rip it off and have like a little one that I roll up into like a snake, and then I will push it into the tip so that you can get enough putty in there. And typically what I find is that if I load new putty and new glue dots at the beginning of a project, it will last me the whole project and then some. It depends on the size of the project. I sometimes have to redo the putty just because putty is temperature sensitive. So I find if it's very hot in my house, or if it's too cold, then I may need to kind of finesse, either put the putty in the fridge for a few minutes, just in my pen in the fridge for a few minutes if it's too gummy and sticky, to kind of firm it up a bit, or to kind of warm it up a bit between my fingers and then put it back in the pen. Just depends on what you need to do. But I like having other tips available to me. I know that some people prefer the screw-in tips, which you can get now from Diamond Art Club. I don't like those. Just a personal preference. If you do, then you don't have to mess with any of the strings or rubber band spacers or using washi tape or hot glue or any of that stuff. So Diamond Art Clubs come with a spacer already on it, as you can see. Let's see if this is going to work. Nope, it's still too big. So I'm going to wrap some washi tape around it. And the thing is, it has nothing to do with either the Pen People or Diamond Art Club. There's not really a standardized size. I mean, I shouldn't say that. There is a standardized size, but especially when you're talking about handmade stuff, there's always going to be a little bit of variation. So if it doesn't fit exactly, you may have to finesse it a little bit. And I'm okay with that. And then I usually just give it a few twists to make sure that it's really seated nice and well. And again, you can see a little bit of the washi tape, but it's not going anywhere, and neither is this tip down here. So now my brand new pen is good to go. I really like this one. So again, I'll stick a link to the Rolo Works if any of you who are interested. They have other pens, and their pens are inexpensive. This one, with tax, I paid $26.39 Canadian, which is $19, $19.44 USD. I don't know how much extra shipping would be to ship it to the States, but a nice pen like this for less than 30 bucks, I'm extremely happy with that. And if you don't want to spend even that much money, like I said, several of these I've gotten off of Amazon for less than $10, and they serve me just as well. But I am excited about my new black and white pen. I just like having all the different colors. I have a green, I have an orange, I have blues, I have a pink, I have a purple. Now I just need, I guess I don't have like a red one. I guess I need like a red one. Maybe that'll be my next purchase. Anyway, so if you like the pen, be sure and go check them out. If you're interested in how I load my glue dots and putty, I'll stick a link up in the corner there to that particular video because I get asked all the time how I load everything. So I'll refer you to that video in case you're interested to see how I put the glue dots and putty in my pens. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.